Bond. James Bond. Synonymous with the 007 number and a license to kill and to be killed. Guns, girls, gadgets, and cars. Join me as I take a look at On Her Majesty's Secret Service on the P.G.M show here right now with me, Peter Gordon McKinnon. I'll be right back. With Sean Connery leaving the role, Albert R. Broccoli and Harry Saltzman, had to find another actor to play the titular role of James Bond. So they went to casting agents and casting directors probably, and found an Australian actor called George Lazenby. George Lazenby was a model at the time, and he accepted the role. On Her Majesty's Secret Service is a 1969 spy film, and the sixth in the James Bond series, produced by Eon Productions. It is based on the 1963 novel by Ian Fleming, following Sean Connery's decision to retire from the role after Eon twice. Eon selected George Lazenby, a model with no prior acting credits, to play the part of James Bond. During filming, Lazenby announced that he would play the role of Bond only once Sean Connery returned to portray James Bond in 1971's Diamonds Are Forever. Okay, I'm getting to the facts a little bit earlier in this process one, as On Her Majesty's Secret Service is quite a long film, probably longer than the other ones of Sean Connery's in the past. So here is some of the facts. In the film, Bond faces Roosevelt Telly Savalas, who is planning to hold the world ransom by a threat to render all food, plants, and livestock infantile through the actions of the group of brainwashed angels of death. Along with the Bond falls in love with and eventually marries Contessa Teresa Di Vicencio. Diana Rigg plays Tessa. It is the only Bond film to have been directed by Peter R. Hunt, with this survey as his directorial debut, who had served as a film editor and second unit director on previous films in the series. Hunt, along with producers Albert R. Broccoli and Harry Saltzman, decided to produce a more realistic film that would follow the novel closely. It was shot in Switzerland, England, and Portugal from October 1968 to May 1969. Although its cinema release was not as lucrative as its predecessor, Ignored Twice, On Her Majesty's Secret Service was still one of the top performing films of the year. Critical reviews upon release were mixed, but the film's reputation has improved greatly over the time and is now regarded as one of the strongest entries in the series, as well as one of the most faithful adaptations of Fleming's novel. Production. The novel On Her Majesty's Secret Service was first published after the film series started, and contains a gentle dig at the cinematic Bond's gadgets. Broccoli and Saltzman had originally intended to make On Her Majesty's Secret Service after Goldfinger, and Richard Maybaum worked on a script at that time. However, Thunderball was filmed instead after the ongoing rights dispute. over the novel was settled between Fleming and Kevin McCrory on Her Majesty's Secret Service was due to follow that, but problems with a warm Swiss winter and inadequate snow cover led to Saltzman and Broccoli postponing the film again, favouring production of You Only Live Twice. Between the resignation of Sean Connery at the beginning of the filming of You Only Live Twice and its release, Saltzman had planned to adapt The Man with the Gold Gun in Cambodia and use Roger Moore as the next Bond. But political instability meant the location was ruled out and Moore signed up for another series of Saint after You Only Live Twice was released in 1967. The producers once again picked up with Foreign Majesty's Service. Peter Hunt, who had worked on the 5 preceding films, had impressed Broccoli and Saltzman enough to earn his directorial debut, as they believed his quick cutting had set the style for the series. It was also the result of a long-standing promise from Broccoli and Saltzman for a directorial position, which they honoured after Lewis Gilbert declined to direct. Hunt also asked for the position during the production of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and he brought along him many crew members, including cinematographer Michael Reed. Hunt was focused on making his mark. I wanted to be different than any other Bond film would be. It was my film, not anyone else's. On Her Majesty's Secret Service was the last film in the series on which Hunt worked. Casting. In 1967, after 5 films, Sean Connery resigned from the role of James Bond and was not on speaking terms with Albert R. Broccoli during the filming of You Only Live Twice. Over 400 actors, including many of the most famous performers in the Commonwealth, were considered for the role of James Bond. The confirmed frontrunner were Englishman John Richardson, Dutchman Hans de Vries, Australian Robert Campbell, Scotsman Anthony Rogers, and Australian George Lazenby. Broccoli also met with Terence Stamp about playing the part. Broccoli was interested in rising star Oliver Reed, but decided that his public image was already too distinct. Future Bond star Timothy Dalton was asked to audition after his appearance in The Lion in Winter, but considered himself too young as he was 25 years old and did not want to succeed Connery as Bond. In an interview in 1987, when he was playing Bond in The Living Daylights, Dalton said, "I was 24, 25 then. I had a good career then, a young man in films, The Lion in Winter, and Mr. Broccoli kindly asked me if I was interested. I think I'm just too young for the role. I think I should be between 35 and 40, and as a 25 to 26-year-old, and I wouldn't have been right." Broccoli and Hunt eventually chose Lazenby after seeing him in a Fry's chocolate cream advertisement. Lazenby dressed the part by sporting several sartorial Bond elements, such as a Rolex Submariner wristwatch and a Seville Row suit ordered by but uncollected by Connery. And going to Connery's barber at the Dorchester Hotel, Broccoli noticed Lazenby as a Bond-type man based on his physique and character elements, and offered him a audition. The position was consolidated when Lazenby accidentally punched a professional wrestler who was acting as stunt coordinator in the face, impressing Broccoli with his ability to display aggression. Lazenby was offered a contract for 7 films, however he was convinced by his agent, Rahali, I think, that the secret agent would be archaic, I think it is, in the liberated 1970s. And as a result, he left the series after the release of On Her Majesty's Secret Service in 1967. One more piece of casting, and hopefully it gives the story of Diana Rigg not getting along with George Lazenby. It might do, it might not. Anyway, for Tracy Draco, the producer wanted a established actress. Was it Fight Lazenby? I think Leo Fight Lazenby. Brigitte Bardot was invited, but after she signed to appear in Shalako opposite Sean Connery, the deal fell through. Diana Rigg, who had already been the popular heroine Emma Peel in Avengers, was cast instead. Rigg said one of the reasons for accepting the role was that she always wanted to be in an epic film. Hunt and Mailbaum admired Donald Pleasant's performance as Blofeld in You Only Live Twice, but wanted to recast the character. Mailbaum originally wrote the role of Blofeld with Max von Sydow in mind. Coincidentally, Max von Sydow would later play Blofeld in the non-Eon Bond film Never Say Never Again. Telly Savalas was ultimately cast following a suggestion from Broccoli. This is the bit of trouble that it may have started. I read on. One time we were on location at the ice rink, and Diana and Peter were drinking champagne inside. Of course, I wasn't divided as Peter was there. I could see them through the window, but the crew were all outside, stomping around on the ice trying to keep warm. So when she got in the car, I went for her. She couldn't drive the car properly, and I got in to her about her drinking and things like that. Then she jumped out and started shouting, "He's attacking me," in the car. I called her so-and-so for not considering the crew who were freezing their butts off outside, and it wasn't that at all in the end, as she was sick at the time, and I was at fault for getting into her about it. I think everyone gets upset at one time, George Lazenby says. So that could be the trouble. That's not. They didn't really hit it off. Poor George Lazenby, really. Just read this little bit here, and then the music and box office and casting, and that'll be it, and we can probably just finish up. Lazenby said he experienced difficulties during shooting, not receiving any coaching despite his lack of acting experience, and with the directing Hunt never addressing him directly, only through his assistant. Lazenby claimed that Hunt also asked the rest of the crew to keep a distance from him. As Peter, through the more As Peter thought, the more I was alone, the better I would be as James Bond. Allegedly, there also were personality conflicts with Rigg, who was already an established star. However, according to Hunt, these rumours are untrue and there were no such things, or else they were minor. And may have started with Rigg joking to Lazenby before filming a love scene. Hey George, I'm having too much lunch. You are. Hunt also declared that he usually had long talks with Lazenby before and during shooting. For instance, to shoot Tracy's death scene, Hugh brought Lazenby to the set at 8 o'clock in the morning and made him rehearse all day long. And I broke him down until he was absolutely exhausted, and by the time we shot it at 5 o'clock, he was exhausted. And that's how I get the performance. Hunt said that if Lazenby had remained in the role, he would also have directed the successor film, Forever, and that his original intention had been to conclude the film with Bond and Tracy driving off following their wedding, saving Tracy's murder for the pre-credit sequence of Diamond Forever. The idea was discarded after Lazenby quit the role. On Her Majesty's Secret Service was the longest Bond film until Casino Royale was released in 2006. Even so, 2 scenes were deleted from the final print. Bunt spying on Bond as he buys a wedding ring for Tracy, and a chase over London rooftops and into the Royal Mall underground railroad system after Bond's conversation with Sir Hilary Bray was overheard. Right, the music. A little bit lengthy, but we'll get through it. So, I love the music, especially the Bond films. Soundtrack for On Her Majesty's Secret Service has been called perhaps the best score of the series. It was composed, arranged, and conducted by John Barry. Of course, brilliant and legendary composer and conductor. It was his 6th successive Bond film. Barry opted to use more electronic instruments and a more aggressive sound in the music. I have to stick my oar in the musical area double strong to make the audience try and forget they don't have Sean to be Bondinian beyond Bondinian. Barry felt it would be difficult to compose a theme song containing the title On Her Majesty's Secret Service unless it were written operatically in the style of Gilbert and Sullivan. Leslie Briscus had considered lyrics for the type of song. I probably butchered a name, I'm sorry about that. But director Peter Hunt allowed an instrumental type of theme in the tradition of the first 2 Bond films. The theme is built around a lament bass, which establishes that the story is a tragedy. Barry's composition was described as one of the best title cuts, a wordless, mood-driven monster, suitable for asking a suitable for skiing at breakneck speed or dancing with equal abandon. Barry also composed the love song We Have All the Time in the World, with lyrics by Bacharach's regular lyricist Hal David, sung by Louis Armstrong. It is her during the Bond chasing courtship montage, bringing Dracula's birthday party in Portugal and Bond's burglary on the Inquisitor Gombold Law Office in Bern, Switzerland. Barry recalled Armstrong was very ill, but recorded this song in one take. Armstrong did, however, make some further recordings in 1970 and 1971, the song was re-released in 1994, achieving the number 3 position during a 13-week spell in the UK charts. The song was reused for a second Bond movie when it was used as the soundtrack for the closing credits for the 2021 release, No Time to Die. Barry and David also wrote 2 other songs for the film, both performed by Danish singer Nina. One entitled Do You Know How Christmas Trees Are Growing was featured in the film in several scenes. The other, The More Things Change, was recorded by Nina at the same session, but did not end up in the finished film. Instead, it appeared as the B-side of the UK single of Do You Know How Christmas Trees Are Growing, and an instrumental version of it appeared on John Barry's 1970s LP, Ready When You Are, JB. The theme on Her Majesty's Secret Service is used in the film as an action theme alternative to Monty Norman's James Bond theme, as with Barry's previous 007 themes. On Her Majesty's Secret Service was covered in 1997 by the British Big Beat group, the Propellerheads, for the Shaken and Stirred album. Barry's orchestrator Nick Rain recorded an arrangement of the Escape from Biz Gloria sequence, and it was featured as a theme in the trailers for the 2004 Pixar animated film directed by Brad Bird. The Incredibles. Barry was the first choice to do the score for The Incredibles, however he declined to do the score as he did not wish to duplicate the sound of his older work. And there you have it. We went through the casting, we went through some of the production, we went through some of the problems that occurred on set and on location, of course. And having that trouble with Diane Rigg, it wasn't as huge big as it seems. Things happen on set and things don't get along, people don't get along with other people, but it wasn't, again, as big as it seems. I liked it. It's basically, in words, they call it a cult classic because it grew on you. And yes, it's probably one of my go-to films. I know this pretty well. And George Lazenby lucked out, I reckon, doing a second film. As to Sean Connery, I think, even said, poor old George Lazenby not getting a second chance. I probably elaborated and took a few little liberties in paraphrasing his remarks, so they might not be all true to his own words. But however, George Lazenby is probably one of the now in cult movie classic Bond films and Bond adaptations of this titular role as 007 James Bond, and really it is just brilliant. The skiing chase is just absolutely superb, with the music in tow, of course. You've just heard that, and one of the best action sequences I've probably seen until I gained the momentum in the other films like Roger Moore's skiing chase scene was really good. And having that cameraman have a story, cameraman could be true for this film, having the cameraman ski with the actors without poles and just a camera. A feat of pure madness and a risk-taking cameraman on skis, if you get what I mean. Anyway, I am going to leave it there. Yes, number 1 on the double feature list, 007 on Her Majesty's Secret Service, with Jules Lazenby doing and acting the titular character as James Bond 007. Thank you for joining me on this one, and get ready for the second of the double feature, Diamonds Are Forever, and saying hello and back to hello to Sean Connery in his last ever Bond film of this franchise. Thank you very much. Take care. Stay safe out there. Until next time. See you later.